So I think the best thing to do is actually to go a little backwards to where we are today. It's actually, onboarding to this plan. And some of you I've seen are not already even partners of AWS or doing anything regarding co-sell or anything. So I think the best way to go will be just go step by step. I'll skip some things that are irrelevant because we've already heard them from companies doing this better at this point. And just speak about how you guys onboard yourself from zero to being co-sell ready and from zero to other programs inside the AWS. What is Coralogix? We do automated machine learning on log data. Basically, what we want to do is discover anomalies and bad trends that you guys have in your log data. A lot of companies focus in collecting, visualizing, searching data. We've seen that as data grows exponentially, companies are finding themselves struggling with really analyzing and getting to the bottom of problems because the costs are high, because it's very hard for people that are not familiar with the log data itself to drill down into problems and isolate them. So we've created a few algorithms that automatically identify issues and tie them up to versions. I'm saying that because this is one of the biggest reasons for us to partner with AWS. We have, every AWS customer has a lot of common things with Coralogix. AWS themselves are, making huge benefit out of customers joining Coralogix. Even if those customers don't increase their own usage, it increases Coralogix usage directly. So this is one of the things that we've explained to AWS to make them incentivized to work with Coralogix. And a lot of things that Lavi said and Nofal, that's right. You got to build a relationship. You got to educate. You got to keep them warm all the time. But at the end of the day, it's what's in it for them. It's the most important part. And if you can convince AWS that it's good for them as an organization and also as personal people, that'll be the best way to really motivate them. So that's what's our fit with AWS, is that every customer onboarding with Coralogix, a nice amount of his bill is actually going to AWS as we increase our usage. And this customer is also encouraged to increase his usage with a lot of AWS's tools like CloudTrail, VPC flow logs, CloudWatch, Lambda, obviously, if he wants to ship the data using those services, S3 if he wants to archive all the data coming from Coralogix. So the idea is that we explain our partners in AWS how using Coralogix will increase both parties' bills, basically, and also both parties' engagements. So if a customer is now using CloudTrail, GuardDuty, and VPC flow logs to create a better security posture for his cloud environment, and he uses Coralogix to do that, and Coralogix provides the tools to read and analyze that data. In case Coralogix actually provides good value for this customer, that means that now he is relying on those tools, and for him to switch to a different environment, besides the cloud bill that is increasing, for him to switch to a different environment is going to be harder because now he knows how to isolate and protect his environment. Switching over to Azure, GCP, whatever is going to be more difficult. So that's what's in it for them, and every company can find their own reasons why should AWS work with them. What happened to the slide? Okay. That's the worst animation ever. So I'll talk about the steps we took from zero to co-sell. So we're relatively new on AWS, actually. We were on Azure up until December this year. So we onboarded to AWS directly with a fairly big account, and immediately started searching for joint opportunities because we've seen that like 90% of our customers are actually running on AWS themselves. So if we can find, common interest between AWS and us, and have AWS helping us in onboarding customers and explaining them their value of using Coralogix, then that dramatically increases our odds of closing deals. And one of the things that we've seen is, regardless of account managers really helping you sell, a big portion of the push was just the credibility that you get by partnering with AWS. So us as a service that basically stores all the data for its customers, we're not just a service used as a utility, but we're actually the data center of our customer. And for them to have AWS vouching for us, for them to have us, as an advanced partner, well-architected review competency, seeing other case studies of customers on AWS using Coralogix, for them that gives a lot of credibility to the service. And when their account manager, and we'll talk about how you get to that point, but when their account manager actually tells them, guys, have you heard of Coralogix? We have a lot of customers working with them. They're big on AWS. That gives him a lot more certainty in choosing Coralogix over more, older and more and bigger solutions. So we started by becoming an advanced partner. It's fairly an easy process. There are a few criteria that you need to have. You need to have two guys that are advanced AWS certificate, two guys that are regular certificate. You need to have either $350,000 joint opportunities with AWS, or at least 20 launched opportunities at the APN tool. So there's a tool at the partner network with AWS where you insert your leads and your current deals. That helps AWS's account managers to track them. One thing that we've learned, I'll talk about a little more, is it's not enough to just put those leads there. No one's going to help you unless you explain to them what is important, create some kind of engagement, and push them from multiple angles. AWS is great, but it's still a heavy, big enterprise. And that means that people don't do things